diddly. Look at this. This is our first version of the Interstellar Sentinel 2 poster that we want to take to our IRL Caravan event. I guess we'll also put this up in our merch store at some point. So very first version. Dimitri, overall, fantastic. I love that we're utilizing our graphics. There's something really cool about that. I've got a bunch of iterations that bits of feedback that I want to give to you. And we'll get into that in a second. But overall, I just want to say really, really cool. Enjoying the bold red colors, and we'll talk more about that in a minute, like a little bit of graphic design bits. We got some things here, and I'll get more into that. Yeah, so why don't we jump into it? So I'll just take these one at a time. All right, let's see. Let's make the QR code a little bit bigger. So maybe center it, if we will. Just easier to point a camera at and scan, right? And we can probably, I know you've got it aligned with this bar, so that's probably fine. We can just move it to the left a bit here. And then what's next? Yeah, so not a huge fan of the font. The font is a bit funky. So let's see a version in the Makoto glitch. And then the other thing I think is also that I'm not a huge fan of her covering up the name. So maybe we can pull her down or pull the whole thing down a little bit more, bring this up a tiny bit more, but let's massage that a little bit to try to bring that in line there. So let's bring our studio logo and SHMUP creator logos over to the right to anchor that side. Also, we can increase the size of them just a little bit as well. If you want, for bonus bits, you could also like take some of our cyberpunk green glowing bits and maybe add them as kind of a little bit of a backing to make them feel like they're elements that fit within the kind of cyberpunk theme that we're working on. What else we got? And we talked about that. Yeah. So the content, like the vertical thing with her, and that's cool. I think we should probably increase the thicker outline for the font itself. I also think we should bring in maybe just a little bit more, not a ton, but maybe bring in our red strip a little bit more, to maybe by a third. Maybe. I like that it's bold. It just feels like it's a little bit too thick at the moment. So let's play with that. We talked about, what was that? Logos, thicker outline. Okay. So in this, we can, I think we need a tagline. So maybe it's something like, can you survive? Or, like we might do it vertically, something like that. I'm not entirely sure. But I think the main thing here is, let's take this tagline, and this is going to be the thing that anchors the eyes to the upper left corner, and then is the challenge, right? We bring content down a little bit more. We can massage that a bit, and then can you survive the neon storm? She takes up a lot of that information, that visual information, which is dope. And then we've got the game, of course, which is the next most important thing for the logo. And then the eyes kind of are drawn through, and then we'll have our updated game description, right? So, all right. And what is here? Oh yeah. So the lightning. So I really like the lightning. It's very cool, super cool. I think the thing is that bugs me is that it's not what the player's going to get, right? Like yeah, she's got these kind of like, these glowy bits, but in the game we have these machine arms, right? I know they're a pain in the ass to construct here, but I think we should have her controlling the machine arms. The machine arms can either come out from the back here, and one from the right, one from the left, right? It gives you more presence of what you're going to get from her. And I think that's going to be really, really cool. So again, love the graphic design bit. Maybe if you want to like subdue it a little bit, and like we pull it down and we have the machine arms as like these aspects that are, what she's controlling. You could do a connection there. So, but that was some of my feedback there. What else we got? Yeah. So I just, there's this thing. I don't quite have the right verbiage for it, but I mean, maybe we just have this tag at the bottom, and then it's something like I don't know, like we'd explain that this is what you see is what you get, right? This is our art style, right? Hand drawn actual in-game graphics or something like that. I don't know if we have a better. Let me think. Is there a better way to say this? Hand drawn actual in-game graphics. Hand drawn actual in-game graphics. I don't know. It feels a little cheeky, maybe. I don't want to overload this thing with too much text. But it feels like by the time you get to the bottom and you're looking at the information, maybe we can like work this in. It could maybe be part of the description. It could be that we fade it out a little bit so it's not super prominent, but it has kind of that neon aesthetic from, that we're going after. But I don't know. I feel like it's such a wow moment that this is what you get, and we're not like, baiting and switching, right? Because we're not really using, it's not really an in-game screenshot, but I don't know. I think it says a lot about our style. I feel like we kind of have to, like kind of sell it a little bit, right? Trying to keep it simple, stupid. Okay, and then what we got game flavor. Let's see here. Okay. So I'm going to give you new text. So we're going to have so I got that, and then new description. So neon barrage combat system. I don't need double hyphens. Actually, I'm going to do one of these. I like that. Rapid spreads, astral. I'm not going to name these, so we'll just do this. Rapid spreads, astral melee, focus, stasis fields, overcharged shots. Do that. Dance through the storm, snap into the flow. Yeah, so that is going to be our like, it's a little bit easier. Let's make it bigger so like it's easier to read. But that's basically kind of what I'm thinking, that we're going to replace this text here. We need to boost it up a bit more. But yeah, I think that's the round of feedback. I mean, is there anything else? Reduce the strip. Okay, we talked about the strip width, and also, I kind of like the call to action, wish list on Steam, right? However we want to do this, maybe you could do it something like this, and we can, I don't know, we can center align it or something like that. So totally fine. But that's what I was, I think that it's sort of a, like a, I don't know, maybe you could convince me not to have this. It might be implicit, but the thing is you never know, right? Like sometimes being overt. So, but that is pretty much it. I'm going to take and get a little screenshot of this. Katoonch. Yeah. I'm going to drop this over here. We're going to take a look at the other posters. And I will get this video up for you. Very, very exciting stuff. I'm really excited about this. All right. So I got that guy there, and I appreciate you. Talk to you soon.